topic is for tonight. If your husband's 21-year-old daughter, a child you knew nothing about, you didn't even know that this child exists, suddenly showed up at your front door with a DNA test in hand, providing he is her father and she is homeless. You already have 4 kids with your current husband, right? Follow me now. You currently have 4 kids with your current husband. 2 boys and 2 girls. The daughter that showed up at the door, she's homeless. She has nowhere to go. Should your husband move her into the family home immediately without discussing it with you? What do you think is going to happen? What would you do if it was you? Let me know, guys. Send your request in. Come on in, tap on the screen, like and share the live. I need to know what you would have done in a situation like this. For those who didn't hear me well, discussion must happen. Discussion is supposed to happen, okay? All right, for those on the For You page who didn't hear me, well, let me go again. If your husband's 21-year-old daughter, a child you never knew exist, showed up suddenly at your front door with a DNA test, providing he is her father and she is homeless. Remember now, you have 4 kids at home with your current partner. But this daughter shows up saying that your husband is her father. Should your husband move her into the family home immediately without discussing that with you? What would you do in such situation? Go ahead, guys. Send your request. Also, remember to send your daily heart me. That is important, guys, to keep the live going. Send your heart me. Come on up in the box so we can have a wonderful discussion tonight here about this topic. Send your heart me and come in. Welcome. All right, so I see someone comment and say hotel. Brandy, you said hotel. Why would you send her to the hotel? What would be the cost? Let me know what your answers are. So this daughter is also an adult, so keep that in mind. Very good. This daughter is an adult, right? Good night, my darling. Good night, little miss. How you doing, guys? How are you doing? Tonight is the real deal. Come on up, guys. Let's start.
Well, I feel like that question that was solely for the woman. So you're gonna make the woman.
No, man can talk about it to man. What if you were the man? So it's not about the women only. What if you were the husband? What would you have done in such a situation?
Well, a case like that, I say, homeboy say there have to be a discussion. You have a private discussion with the wife first.
But discussion with the wife and the child is standing there. What do you do? And she's homeless. We have to remember she's homeless. She has nowhere to go. What would you do in such a situation?
Well, right there and then, if that was the case, me would have taken it up on my head and just know so we try go do the necessary to get answers to find out if this child is really my child. You understand? And if we find out it's my child, well, if the woman can accept her, well, I'd go with her.
So what would you do if your wife don't decide to accept her?
If you don't decide to accept her,
so Brandy says she don't know her. Okay, Brandy, so you would not accept her in your household. That's what you're saying, right?
What's the topic, Yanni?
All right, so it's a big, broad, and
Yeah,
topic.
that question is difficult, but
All right, so here's the topic, guys. For those who didn't hear. All right, here's what happened. If your husband's 21-year-old daughter, a child you never knew existed, suddenly show up at your front door with a DNA test in hand, providing that he is her father and she is homeless. Mind you, you already have 4 kids at home with your current husband, right? And then these kids are between 16 to 19. 2 boys and 2 girls. Should your husband move her into your family home immediately without discussing it with you? What would you do in a situation like that?
Yanni,
Mm-hmm.
Yanni, you just talk, you know, say you just talk part of my life story, Yanni. I would tell you.
Oh my God.
You know, say that happened to me, Yanni.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, my husband, my ex-husband, Yanni, have a child outside and did not tell me.
Oh my God.
And I was at home. I was at home one day, and me hear one little pitney out the door. They call his name. They call him, and I went out, and I said to her, "I think you have the wrong name because there was another man named by that name." And I said to her, "I think you have the wrong name." And she said, "No. My mother said this a 1 year. My mother send me for my lunch money." Me say, what you say? Me say, what you say? Look up it you mean say your mother's. Me say, no. It's one next name like that where she called that lived down. He said, no, at this a 1 year. At this a 1 year, my father. Me say, what? Yani, I was speechless. I was
Of course you would
speechless.
be. Of course.
Me forget what I do the day. Me couldn't do nothing more than just stand up and look out of space because him never did it. And me tell the pitney say he must come back in a night because me not understand what go on. You understand me? When the man come and me tell him, you know when he tell me say, eh? Say me not fi make no picnic come again. Oh, me not fi make no picnic come again. Come ask him for no lunch money. I no fi him picnic.
Wow.
The man say I no fi him picnic. When we take a stock of fi him picnic and a little more in a night, he go admit he say he did do such and such and such and such. You know how long? And I was there like, you know, no know nothing. Eh? No know nothing. Man, me no know him.
yeah,
I know.
it's really a person who reaching in a situation they could have really tell. You know what I mean?
I'm telling you, it's hard. It's hard to accept because you never know, and so many thoughts now are going to race through your mind because you don't know. You don't know.
Gonna your entire day. Like
Yes.
everything going on.
Yes, you understand, and you know, you have to wonder if you do something wrong or how it happened, how and I like, you know, you are there and your husband, but they tell us say he love you every day, gone out, gone get somebody else pregnant and you did not know about it.
Wow.
Yani,
Gosh.
I'll know I cannot accept it. I'll know me I tell you, I'll know me wrap my brain because me wonder how him do that. How him do that.
All right, guys. So those are just joining us. Our topic here, or big discussion here for tonight is: if your husband's 21 years old daughter, a child you never knew existed, suddenly showed up at your front door. Give me a minute. Showed up at your front door, right? Holding a DNA test in hand, providing that your husband, is her father. and she is homeless. She has nowhere to go. You already have 4 kids, 2 boys and 2 girls with this man. And then now they are between the age 16 to 19. Should your husband move her into the family home immediately without discussing it with you? What would you do in a situation like that?
We have to have a discussion. We have to have a discussion about that
Take
first.
her in and put him on. Chuchu, that's great. Chuchu said take her in and put him out. Almighty God.
Well, that even makes
Oh
sense.
my God.
That makes sense.
Oh my God. Guys, really, what would you do in a situation like that?
First of all,
That's
I
not
have to
a
do a proper,
child
I would
at
have to do
that
a proper
point.
interview to see when that child came about, if it was during our time or before our time or during our time. And then
Yes,
we would have to
because
take,
she's older than your kid.
but probably
That
we
was
got together before I started having kids. It could be that we,
Well, that wasn't the case though,
yeah.
but they were before.
Oh,
Obviously,
well, the
the
child
child was
basically,
before,
we
right?
basically got the child during our
Right.
relationship. Well, if me never know before the child born, might as well me just go and work with it. But it wouldn't be a smooth road. We'd have to, the conversation we'd have to have. But let's say I didn't know about it before all these years, then I would think that, yeah, all these years you were deceiving me. But the child is now an adult, and the relationship was going on 20 odd years. So I wouldn't just get up and walk away, leave a 20 plus years relationship because
Right.
after years I found that, oh, but if it was a case where somebody is pregnant or just have a newborn, then no, I'm going.
Right.
right.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. That makes sense. I would do the same too if it was before my relationship with him. Yeah.
But under that circumstances, I know it's just, but would the child and the father would have a relationship? Because it doesn't matter, you show up with that DNA. If me and you are in a relationship, you can't come in my house. Me don't know you, me don't know your thing. Me don't, DNA now make you can't come show up in my house. I use adult. I don't responsible for you at that age. So I don't see how
Well,
that
So what if
make
you
any
know in
sense.
yourself that you
well,
were
well.
messing
I may say
around?
technically that no make no sense because you and the child don't have one
Yes,
relationship
that
because this
so
is what
that
I say
would
now.
make no sense. You
Hear
show
me
up
out
with a
now.
DNA test, we have no relationship. So you can't just
Hear
come
me
live
out
in
now.
my house with my family.
Hear what I say now. Me I say what you say no make no sense because the reason why you and the child not have a relationship are because of your decisions what you make in her past. So if she come to you and tell us that she a Susie daughter and provide her DNA and you know say you used to clap Susie and Susie when get pregnant and for some strange reason you end up take care of youth. Only thing missing me would I do would I go run a DNA for myself, which part
That
me
is
know
it.
say
That is it.
what go on with the proceedings because things can be fake. That's what I say. Susie can just tell him say him name John and he find out say me well off and then cook up a story. So that
No,
more
I
that do.
asked the
Me
question. No, you are the
personally,
man.
hear me answer
I
now.
know.
Hear me answer
You are
now.
the man.
Hear me out
No,
now.
you is no. What I'm saying,
Hear me
you
out now, my
don't need.
father.
You are the
Mama
man,
land now, my
so
Let
you
father.
him
can't
finish,
talk.
Mr.
Let me finish now, my father.
Let him finish and then you take it from there.
In most more that do, more that go try check the authentication of the DNA test. And
That's
you see
it.
from my youth, I mean, me go know what make me never take care of that youth there. Not for we go and like say, we don't know what we do back
Like
in
how
our
you
past.
talk,
Me
yeah.
go know what make me and Susie never work out. You see what I say? And then me go set a boom and go to my wife and discuss it with him. And if me and my wife there for 20 odd years, obviously I want a woman what me can tell say, be when me I did 21, me fuck up, sorry, me do some me mess up, me do something, me do this, that, and the youth end up born and me end up take care of him and sitting. And obviously she go know say me I want good father now because me I take care of 4 what we have. You see what I say? So if she's an adult and me set a boom and put her in my house for a period of time and she say have introducing a completely different adult with a different mindset to the ecosystem
Yeah, break up. Me not hear you. Nah,
him and
hear
my
him.
house, they make
Yeah, him need to break up because what must say don't make no sense. So
if sir. You hear me better now? Yes,
Yeah,
sir,
go
brother.
ahead.
Me I say if me say me put her in the house and putting her in the house, they disrupt the house because I still respect my wife, you know. And I still respect my picnic them sanctuary forward, did they, you know, because that is the
Right,
life that they know, the six of
right.
us. Here's what I say. And she's an adult. The most more I try the bro, I try set a boom and see if me can start put aside some piece of food for pay one even a 4 or 5 month rent for her, find out why she not work, check out both her papers and some sitting and see if me can get her in a position which part she can start take care of herself as an
That's
adult. If
good.
me verify say I'm my picnic. If me
why
verify say I'm
these
my picnic, no because an adult now me go turn me back on him when
why
time me name did the fee me in
why
the
these
first
man
place.
come and act like them perfect? If
Who they act like
you
them perfect,
No,
brother?
what
Me I
I
tell
just
you
let no,
reality,
that's his
bro.
opinion and we can't go against it.
You
That's
said
all
so
right.
boom
all
and
right,
you would
Right.
in my
you would
opinion,
abandon
Yes,
for your
yes,
in
picnic
my
in
that a
your
year
opinion,
we
opinion.
off to do
what
it.
All
you're
right, guys,
And
we're
you
saying,
not
gonna
hear
be
me look for you and tell you
yeah.
say
hold
yo,
on,
you're
All
hold
right,
on,
here
make
wrong.
I
now.
finish.
We're gonna be
Make I make
mature,
you
man.
finish. Let me hear
Hello.
what you say. Let me show
Listen,
you why you say.
no, listen, you might disagree with him, but you can't just tell him, oh, that's his opinion, so we're gonna leave it at his opinion, okay?
Okay, but
And then you're
I'm
gonna
gonna
focus
question.
on your
I'm
yes,
gonna
let me hear
question
you.
as his opinion. Let me tell
No
you.
problem.
If
Go ahead.
you have a relationship with someone, a child produce,
Mm-hmm.
you don't know if a child, because I'm talking from the perspective of you don't know. So you don't know the child ever existed.
No, the
And
wife don't know the child. You can't say the husband don't know, 'cause I must know him at the water road. So the wife don't know, but the
I
man
me I
must have an
wonder if him
idea.
a push
all right,
film penis in a things I don't know why him a
Right,
push in
me
a
alright.
ask you
sometime.
Not
a
them doing what they
question.
say.
No, why
One.
una mess this thing. One are saying the man knows him there one pit out
The
there.
man must know,
Or the
remember,
man
saying you
didn't
are the
know that
things,
he
you
have a
know,
pit
you're just logically thinking. The man must know
Then
what he's doing.
elder me no say it, me no up to say it and give her example and tell her say you must know say you
No,
did a knock
but
Susie 20 years ago. And she come and tell us say she a, well listen no, that's why you not understand what go on in okay. You
but
not
that
listening, you
wasn't the
just a talk.
promise. The
That's why you
promise is
not
that you
understand.
were having sex with someone. I asked the host again. Did
Mhm.
the man know that he have a child out there and didn't take care of that child?
The man has to know that what he was doing. I can't say if he knows that that's his child, because the child walk up with the DNA, just like what I'm saying. That's exactly how I'm giving it to
And
you.
that's the question, and that's why I asked that question, because if he know that he have a child, while the child would have to walk up with that DNA, you would know that he have a. Look here, me not really wanna look here. Goodbye. Me not wanna then discussion here with worthless man who go left them pitney for 20 a year. I can't relate to those things, so I don't want to.
But
Because
the
I can't
DNA,
relate. Oh, a man
listen,
could have
hold
a
on,
child
hold
for
Like
on.
20
like
a year and
as
don't
a big
know.
man where you say
The
a while ago
DNA,
make sense. As a big man, where you say a
eh?
while ago make sense. What come
All
out your
right,
mouth
guys, we're
as a
gonna do
big
it
man make
professionally.
sense.
We're not gonna argue, okay?
Let me just
Everybody
clear
stay
up.
tight. Right, go ahead
Yeah, let
now.
me just clear up. Let me just clear up something right here.
Right.
Um, you see, the fact is, the man don't have to know say him have a child. Oh,
Yeah, wait, mute, little miss, give me a minute. Let me hear what him say. Go ahead now,
yeah.
sir.
May I say, the fact is, the man don't necessarily have to know say him have a child out there. So
Right.
that is why I'm asking at the comments say if the father knew that he had a child. It's not a must because all right, look at this. A
Yeah.
man we do him thing all over. A man will do a one night stand and him never hear back from the girl again.
Mhm.
However, the girl knows say him did breed her and him probably did go a foreign for 20 years and come
Right,
back now and
right.
she connection back with him now and she can present the child and say, Ray. But in this scenario, say the man no. Because if we are go, we can't compare apple with bananas. We have to
No.
compare apple. So
Mhm.
make we say the man no. If it's a case where the man knows him have a child out there and the child are going to present herself to the wife with DNA testing, I mean, in the first place, the man should have make the wife know.
All right,
In a,
here's what we're going. I wouldn't say what is your opinion. I wouldn't say stick with the facts that the man know exact upfront. Say the man probably have an idea because me I go turn up now say my mother name is Pat. And there and then now after the discussion you're gonna say whether or not me dey sleep with Pat you're going to know. Because if you walk up with the DNA testing and obviously the man probably not even know say him get a child, but him know he was doing something. But him
yes.
don't know if him get a child. So let's stick it at that and move
All
on.
right. So now him find out say him get a child.
Right.
This child is 21 years old.
Right.
However, homeless.
Mm-hmm.
He is an adult. She's no longer his responsibility.
Right.
If him for moving the child, him have to definitely have a discussion with him wife, or probably even him elder family member, him elder kids them as well. So everybody can put in and say, all right, she go stay here so for tonight. However, is it possible for her to live here, or she go stay here so till we can move her out in her own apartment? Or however it go on. A man did say in the comments say hotel. So
Our lady say hotel.
yeah. But as a man, me think say you have to be responsible for all of your kids regardless of age.
True. Good point you raised right there. All right, guys. So those who are just joining us, our topic for
So, I was saying, right, for the purpose of the DNA test, right, enough man might be have a fling out there with somebody and never know say the person get pregnant, right? So the lady have the baby now, so the child is now what, 19 years old, you said?
No, 21.
All right, 21-year-old no one want to find her father. So she get the DNA done to and find him to let him know that he is her father. So the thing is now is whether she wants him to play an active. Remember now she's an adult now, So maybe she just want to know her father.
Yeah.
You understand me? Or might be she want a little help now just to find a place for her because she's homeless.
Right.
For them to sit down and catch up and things and so forth. You understand? So that is necessary for her at that age, because she want to know her father.
Right.
Not necessarily mean that she's going to be a dependent on him. Just to know him, know that yes, she have a father, yes, her father is alive and so forth. So basically that's it. Maybe she just want to catch up, so
Right.
the father might be at this time being as she homeless, just find a place for her to stay, until she get back on her foot. Understand?
Sure. All right. So guys, so those are just joining us, those on the For You page, what we have at hand to discuss for tonight is if your husband's 21 years old daughter, a child you never knew existed, suddenly show up at your front door with a DNA test, providing he is her father and she is homeless. Currently you have 4 kids, 2 boys and 2 girls. They are between the ages 16 to 24 to 19. 16 to 19. Should your husband move her into your family home immediately without discussing with you, what would you have done in a situation like that? What would you have done? Here are some questions that we are going to be looking at one after the other. Does the DNA test automatically give someone access to your home?
No, it doesn't. Not because you guys share the same DNA. It means that they're automatically family. Family is something you really earn and grow. Something that's growth.
Right.
And another thing, Well, showing up with a DNA test is kind of almost probably a 8 out of 10 situation. Because first of, in this day and age, you're probably gonna need the permission of the father or
Mm-hmm.
something to get the test, you know. But other
Mm-hmm.
than that, not because you find out now that this person has a DNA, it could be one of those cases where you were young and restless. It could be on a night where you don't have no memory of. You didn't even know you had intercourse with this person. So that, and people can, in this day and age, AI can give you anything you want. It could be a fake test. So that is something you would have to sit down with as a family, even with the kids, because now you're inviting a whole adult in their space. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes, these nowadays kids, they can be spoiled, especially when they have their
Right.
own, you know, space and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. So
Right.
that was something that you really have to have a discussion about, and it could be that probably all y'all are probably even gonna need counseling after that. Okay, that's
Mm-hmm.
some woman, especially if you're a person that she trusted for years,
Yep.
it could put a damp in that relationship. So that's not something you just decide on your own. That you need a whole and several meetings and several sit downs about that. I
Yep.
probably depends on the scenario. I probably will have to put her up in a hotel that night until I can decide, like, or I know exactly.
Alrighty. Okay. Mr. John Barter, good night.
Greetings to the host and greetings to the panel. Choo choo choo. Can I say something? Hold on there. Listen to me now. Choo choo choo. Choo choo choo.
Choo choo.
Yes, say something. Say something. I'm listening. Go ahead.
Hold on there. Hold on there. You hear me? You give me a chance now. Choo 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 choo. Yeah, hear me. Hear me good now. Hear me good now.
Choo choo choo. All right. So, ready now, Mr. Basil? You want me to tell you our topic for tonight?
Yes, go ahead. Go
All
ahead.
right.
Share the food.
Okay. If, well, don't look at it as a husband now. You're going to be the husband. So, if your husband's 21-year-old daughter, a child you never knew existed, suddenly show up at your front door with a DNA test in hand, providing that he is her father and she is homeless, she has nowhere to go. Remember, you both have 4 kids together, 2 boys and 2 girls already at home, right? So you have 2 boys and 2 girls at home already. And then this young lady, walk up saying that your husband is her father, and so be the case. In that situation, what would you do? Oh my God.
Somebody have a second device that they need to mute.
Okay. In that case, what would you do as the wife? Should the husband take her in immediately without discussing with the wife? What would be your decision there?
Good discussion. My 2 cents on it again. Greetings to the panel and greetings to the host. My
Great.
two cents as a father. I get this, when I used to in my prime, running around, and I used to knock around the place. It happened that choo come across and choo carry a child for me. Now this child in her maybe, let's say 22, age 22. And, I visit back Jamaica, me and my family and all of that. And this child show up with even grandkids. Tell you the truth, as a father, I would be so happy to welcome that child on board. And if my wife, French Rose, is not in agreement with me and don't want to accept that child, I think French Rose have no choice but to pack her bags and go.
Ooh.
Because I will not reject my child. I will do whatever it takes. There's the evidence there to prove that I am the father of this young miss, and I'm the grandfather of my grandkids. And don't fall may probably happen where I have to rescue this young miss, and she need daddy help. Whatever means necessary, she will have my support, and I will catch up for those days that I was absent, even though
Right.
I did not know that this young miss exists. I have no knowledge of this young miss exists. I will do whatever it takes to step up to the table and do what I have to do. There is no
Right.
pause stop me. I know of case where, I talk about Florida a lot because I live in Florida for many, many years. Most of my experience is right there in Florida where this dad leave Jamaica with his 6-year-old daughter, come here, find somebody,
Cameron.
get married. And now this young miss grow up. I think at the time she was 15 years old, where the stepmother was applying so much pressure to her, did not like her. And so she tried to explain to daddy, but daddy was in love. And so that union bear 2 kids, because I personally used to work with the dad. And the dad used to complain how disrespectful the 15-year-old daughter was, and was very aggressive towards the daughter. But not knowing that behind the scene, when he's on the road working, the stepmother was provoking her and doing her stuff because the stepmother want to throw her out the house. It's not all the step are good step to walk on. There is some good step out there, but not every step are good step. And so what this young miss did, I think at the age of 16, she packed her bags and disappeared. And after she packed her bags and disappeared for many years, daddy report her missing and trying to get in contact with her. She was living on the street. It happened that while on the street, she get pregnant. And after she get pregnant with the baby, she come back to daddy because she need help. And at that moment, daddy did not step up to the plate. And you know what she did? Because the rain and all, the cold time, the baby catch up pneumonia, and the baby is no longer here with us. Anyhow, she tried to come back to daddy. And you know what? The dad, while we were working, the dad would say, all these years, she leave and now she coming back. I need my help. I'm not helping her. I'm not helping her. She be disrespectful to my wife. And my wife said I shouldn't. And I used to say, man, that's your daughter. That's your blood. You and your daughter come here like that, man. Come on. And that man do not help his daughter, and his daughter have to run away again. Since his daughter run away, it was 3 days ago I tried to call this man, but he did not pick up to check on the situation to find out how was his daughter, if he ever get back in touch with his daughter. But this man have never made any attempt to basically try to help his daughter. So if you have some man out there, me don't know what kind of syndrome or whatever them experience in life could have caused them to reject them picnic. I have 2 kids, God bless me, 2 amazing kids. And trust me, I do whatever in my powers to make sure them are right. I would never reject them. That's my 2 cents for right now.
All I would right. like to say something. If I am the wife of that gentleman who has the child outside without knowing, the best thing for me to do would be to, I'll be a little disappointed, but the best thing for me to do would be to accept the little child. The child, she's 21, right? So you accept the child and, show love and support and in every way that you can. But that's the most that I would do. I don't know about anybody else, but just show love.
I'm gonna show another spin where the mother, a woman have a child, and him selling in a market, in a Coronation market, and so she go with this little boy, and this little boy just vanish off in thin air. She never make no police report the little boy missing, and she was living by herself at the time, and she never make no report, no report, no nothing. Now this little boy that vanish, he happened to be my aunt. Saw this little boy roaming around and happened to bring this little boy home. Now, I have an uncle that have no kids. I have an uncle that have no kids. And so my aunt was happy. You know, this little boy at the time was 7 years old. Or 7, or maybe 5 or 6 years old. Something like that. And so my aunt took this little boy to my uncle. My uncle was gladly receive this little boy and, you know, find a way, even though no information, no birth certificate, but was able to catch him into a school. Jamaican, you would know that word, catch, you know, and stuff like that. It happened that my uncle, later on in life, or shortly after that, developed stage 4 cancer, drop out. So we never knew that there was a child that he was raising. And so when my mom and I, when we went to visit him, we realized what was going on. We have no choice but to take this little boy with us. Now, after burial and all of that stuff, my sister said, what we going to do? We have no choice but to keep him. We can't let him roam around like that. Wish my sister did bring this little boy home with us. And, you know, we talked to schools and school were able to accept him. So it reached that point where it's time for him to go to high school. We need his birth paper. But this little boy was very knowledgeable and he always telling us that he remember where he was, where he from. Somewhere, you know, somewhere in one of that bad community he was from up in Kingston. And so he remember, he said, if you guys should take me to the market, from the market to where I'm from, I should be able to lead you guys to where my mommy used to live. I remember as a little child, and he said, okay. So one day my sister did, you know, charter a car. And, you know, I myself was there with my sister. And we, you know, take him to him, say, yes. And him say, go right there, sir. Go there, sir. He have a road, they call him Burke Road or somewhere in that town. And anyway, we go, you know, we are listen to him and the driver carry go, on the carry go. And him say, somewhere, yes, sir, you know. Remember, him say, so another year here. Remember, me used to go over there, so me a little boy. Remember, so anyhow, cut a long story short. It happened that there was a woman who and her son was going about their business. And the little boy saw him and called him by name. They call him Blacks. And the little boy said, Blacks. And him answer. And him say, you know, say, you know, me come and I look and I say, me know, yeah, look for your grandfather. Your grandfather live over there, so, and stuff like that. Anyhow, connecting with grandfather. When you connecting with grandfather, he was able to connect with mother. So now, you know, my sister end up, you know, I learned the ropes and we get the information to his mother, going to Coronation Market, link up with the mother. Happened that this mother was somebody that my sister, whenever she go town, is somebody that she used to support, somebody that she used to buy from, and was able to explain and all of that. So lo and behold, come to find out, this was a lady also that was suffering from some mental issue. She have 6 other kids and she do the same thing with them. Give her the way them, some of them venture off and wander off, and she never reported, no police report, no nothing of missing child or anything like that. Lucky like that this guy that which is my nephew, I refer to him now as my nephew. You know, was able to link up his siblings and stuff like that. So fathers do the same thing, mothers do the same thing too. Cause you know it happens.
Right. All right. So, guys, for those who are just joining us and asking about the topic, here's what we are talking about. Okay. If your husband's 21-year-old daughter, a child you never knew existed, suddenly shows up at your door, your front door, with a DNA test in hand, providing he is her father and she is homeless. She has nowhere to go, guys. Remember now, you already have 4 kids at home with this man. But then this other girl shows up and saying that he is her father. You have 2 boys already and 2 girls. Should your husband move her into the family home immediately without discussing with you? What would you do in a situation like that? That's our topic. Welcome, Troy.
Night, Yoni, night, everybody on the panel.
That's a big one, ain't it?
Greetings.
Um,
Mm,
so he didn't know that it was his daughter?
obviously, no. Probably he did something, but he didn't know that he left any mark there. So,
Okay, for me, the DNA test will have to be redone on my terms. What I would do is, if we're financially able, I'll get her somewhere to stay. She's not staying in the house with us. I don't know her background. I don't know what she do with her life. I don't know anything about her. So to bring her in the house with my children, that's not gonna happen. At least until I get to know what type of person she is. But I mean, helping out somebody is not an issue. If in fact we can get her someplace to stay until a DNA test is done, where I am sure that the results are what they are, then we'll go from there. The discussion would have come down to me and my husband, because he didn't know, I didn't know. It wasn't a case where we were together when him get this child or whatever the case may be. So there's nothing to be upset about. So I would do what I could do to get her somewhere to stay. And again, we have to do over the DNA test.
right.
Now, if it is his daughter, we now have to think about something long term. But I don't see an issue there in terms of if I'm supposed to be upset with him or no. I don't see any issue there, because that wouldn't be the time that we were together. So yeah.
Yes, it was when you were together, but you just didn't know and you just didn't know. That's what the scenario says.
She said that the child is 21.
21, yeah.
How long the husband and the wife married for?
That was the
Well,
mention.
based on what you,
But
because
based,
I came up first and it sounded like it was while you were together, but he just didn't know. Sorry.
it seems to
Well,
me
you have
like
to clarify
before.
that part, Yanni.
Because
It
that's what
seems
I
like
got
it
from
was
you first.
before, honestly, because she's older than her kids. Because the kids that they have would be like 16 and 19, thereabout. But it didn't mention the how long they were together or anything else. It's just that part of it. So we have to work with what we have, okay?
But you said that there's a child there that is 19.
Yeah, no, they have
Considering
kids
that this,
together, 16 to 19.
As in the husband
The
and the wife
wife and the
have
husband,
those
yeah.
age group. So that means this young miss
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah. But
appear,
that's what I'm saying. If
this young
before
miss,
the husband
Yeah,
and the
this young
wife
miss that
share a child,
appear from nowhere would have been maybe in her late 20s,
before,
let's say
yes.
24, 25, or 26, somewhere there.
I'm confused.
No,
Host, I need a little bit of
she is
clarity.
21, currently 21. But then the thing
Okay.
is, they probably had a relationship before. So even though she is married, but that part wasn't mentioned at
So the
all.
union, Yannick, the union have kids which is 19 years old and 16
Yes,
years old. But
16
this
to
young miss that appear from nowhere, let's say she's 21 years old.
21, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, 21 is a little bit close to 19.
Yes.
Now, that would have been a conversation that I would have to have with my husband, because if my child is 19, it would mean that it took me 9 months to have the baby. No, that's a little bit too close to comfort for me, because this child was
Right.
created a year
That's what I was
before the
saying.
pregnancy.
No,
My
but to be honest
pregnancy.
with you, for me personally, I meet my son mom, and maybe within less than 2 months, I got her. She was pregnant. Less than 2 months. Remember, pregnancy just one intercourse, So it all depends on how long you and this husband was together, and then calculate from there. But let's say during that time frame, you and him was not together. It
If
happened.
yeah, if
It happened before you
Yeah,
and him
if
met.
that is the case, John, if that is the case, right, I wouldn't have an issue. Like there will be nothing there to argue about. No, I am going to do my investigation either way,
Yeah.
because if it was a case where we were together at the time, in a marriage while I'm pregnant, and you would have had sex, no more than no say you cheated on me. That's something that we
That
gonna
right
have
there
to
so
deal with.
is a different kettle of fish right there, so because definitely him cheat on you, but to my understanding, it happened before you. This right, Yannick. This
Yep.
this child that appear, this child comes, the gentleman meet this child mother before relationship start. Now, he married and have kids and I live him life. And the mother decide to come forward and say, I feel pitney. But as the present wife, as what you said you would do, it should not be a problem. You are taking the right step, and I
Yeah.
agree with you 100%. You have to investigate DNA tests and all of that stuff, and come try to find the moment when you and him meet, and you do your calculation, and then I said, well, this child, it is before me because me and you met in 2019, but this child was born in 2018. This child was born. So, this child is
Mm-hmm.
out of our league. And then now from the
Yeah,
so,
man.
as what you say,
We
yeah.
definitely have to do some calculations. I don't think a woman who is okay in her headspace I go argue with one man about a child that came before their relationship. He didn't know. It wasn't a case where he hid it or denied her, or it was there. There's nothing for me to say he was being, you know, he was being a liar or him did a deceive me or anything like that. So I would have helped her get a place.
Right.
She
So
not come stay in my house there because
what if the husband decide that she has to sleep in the house that night or day whenever she comes? She would have to stay there with them, and then probably tomorrow they try to see what can be done.
so my husband is not going to decide that. We're going to make a decision
If he
together.
insists to make let the young lady
Then we're going
stay.
to have an issue. We're going to have an issue, and I don't think that any husband I go against what I would what me I put on the table, because it's not a case where me I go make she sleep outside. I just don't want her in the house with us until I realize what type of person she be. Now at 21, homeless, don't that is saying that there's trouble where you're coming from. I don't know if it's somebody else that is the trouble or you're the trouble as to why you're homeless at 21. No, I would have to figure that out for that to either increase my comfort level or decrease my comfort level. Whichever way it go, that will decipher whether or not you're able to come around my children, partake, do whatever. But it's not gonna happen the same night. And if my husband decides he's going to overthrow whatever I say, I am getting a hotel for me and my children. So we gonna have problem in that marriage, because whether or not you are related to her by blood, you're still the man of the house and you're still a protector. I don't know who this person is. I've just met her.
Yeah.
All of a
She's not
sudden you
a
have a
family yet.
daughter.
So see
You
So if
you
you're
have
someone
not
all
come
going
right.
to
in.
You
consider,
you have all right to do that. In that case, you have kids. You don't know if her kids have bad habits. You don't know who is her
I don't
kids.
know if she's
So
taking drugs.
yes,
I don't know.
it's the right way.
No, she's not coming there.
It is the right way. It is the right way.
So
Whatever
see,
the method that you decide to use, it is the correct method that the husband need to go about it and know who they are taking in the house, know about the kids as well, because those kids have their personality. You don't know if they are, person with molestation now. You don't want your kids to learn certain bad habits. So you have to investigate, and know the kind of persons that you are going to take in. You're absolutely right, 100%.
And Mr. Boswell, you had said earlier that you would put out French rules, right away if she's not in agreement with you. So I'm glad you clarified that.
Yes, man. Yeah, yeah. The way how because excited and all of that stuff, But I think the way how my approach, I'm man enough to say, was wrong, 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 wrong.
Excited for what? What are you excited
No,
about?
foreign kids, new
yeah,
child.
I would be excited over the
You
child.
say I'm
That, yeah,
excited, new
this is
child.
my child, and it happened to the best of us. Make decision at the present moment, and it's not the best decision.
So who are you going to put out because of your excitement,
Him
sir?
No,
wife.
I'm saying, in this case, this is a real life story that happened, This is something
Mm-hmm.
real that happened. And in this case, the wife reject this woman. the daughter that turned up. She was rejected by the wife. The wife
I
wasn't having
mean,
it. It was a no, no, no. You know?
I think she's entitled to do whatever it is that she please. No, whether she want to reject her, it is still up to her because ultimately this woman have children in the house that she have to protect. No, I wouldn't go about it the way how she probably would have gone about it, where she don't care what happened to the girl, because I know that anybody can end up in any position, right? I would have do what I can do, even if I have to pay for one local hotel for her for 1 3 day. While we get to know her, make sure she gets some food, some clothes, somewhere she can bathe, whatever I can do, I would do it. So
Exactly.
even if she turn out not to be my husband's child after our DNA test, I still wouldn't feel bad because sometimes I feel like you can do a little good here and there. So it would have be like any normal person who come ask for help. If I'm able to help, I will.
That's true.
This question, Yanni, is just simple. The family will have to thoroughly check that one out. Can't just come up and say that she have a father here and with a DNA test.
Right.
We are going to check it out. We are going to
You
check it
have to
out
do that.
properly. So the lady is right when she said that even if to book a hotel for 3 nights or 2, just to get more acquainted with her, find out more about her background before we allow her to mix with the immediate family.
So what if it was in the case where, all of that done, DNA test done, and it show that this child is 100% the husband child, but the wife decide to do the rejection where she not having it, she won't accept it, and it is a no, no. I as a father at that point, I will step up to the plate and carry on my responsibility. If the DNA test show that I am 100% the father.
When you say step up to your responsibility, you mean inviting her into our home without my
Um,
consent?
if the home is a matrimonial home, that is different. But in terms of support, I will support
We
her.
are talking about a matrimonial home. We're
Well,
married.
if the home is a
How are you?
if the home is a matrimonial
Mr.
home where
Basil,
kids,
Mr. Basil, I know at that time, being a father, you're going to be elated. You're
Same
going
word
to be
request,
you're going to be so elated at that time, But to know that you have a child that is so big and, at the end of the day, you still have to respect. You still have to respect your wife
That's
decision.
ex- that's exactly where I was going. Where the home is a matrimonial home. This young miss is an adult, and she may not able to come into the home. But I will support her if I have to get her a rent or a place. Which maybe my wife will have problem with me paying rent for her or whatever it is. But she won't have that power to stop me from supporting this young miss. I will support her and support my grandkids, and there's no power can stop me from give her the support that she needed
I
at that
don't
moment.
Hold
think,
on,
So the
what
other man.
grandkids?
I
What
don't
you
I have a
mean?
think,
question.
So she had kids. The 21-year-old had kids.
No,
Yeah,
she
man, she
not have
have.
anything. No, she not
Okay,
have
I have
anything.
a
So how
question.
Basila say grandkids?
Yannick, I thought in this situation she have kids.
No, she
My
not have.
question.
No,
no, she not have no
she don't
kids.
have the daughter that is coming in that knocks on the door with the DNA. She don't have any child.
Okay,
The only
okay.
thing, right? She don't have any child. It's just the family, like husband and wife.
So
They have 4 kids together.
I was misunderstanding, but
so
in this
Right,
case,
no
she
so
problem.
22. She 22. She's a grown young miss. She can
21.
get a
Yeah.
place.
Right,
She can get a place and rent. She don't have to live in a my house. She don't have to own me, but I can
right.
support her in whatever means that I can.
Right,
She.
because
I have
she's
a,
now an adult. She's now an
Yeah, she's
adult,
an
and
adult.
by law
I,
you don't responsible for her. But at the end of the day, you're gonna want to know her more. You're going to want to know what happened to her. How comes it is now that you're hearing of her. She's coming to you. All those little information. You're gonna want to get acquainted with her. So,
Uh,
the best place for that time is, find somewhere, put her until everything sort out.
All
so
right.
how she
What?
get my DNA if you do the test? Because I don't know her, I don't know of her
And
first. So
that is
how
the
she get
next
my
thing, and
DNA if
that
you do the
is the
All
test?
next thing
right.
that is the
A
next
lot
thing
of
I was
stories
going
coming
to
in.
ask. How comes she comes at the door with a DNA test? How comes and she don't know the father?
I don't know. We're gonna find out.
That
But
bother me
this
from
is
me,
I
that
A real
question. I
story.
said,
It's
then
a
how
real
she get
story
my
going
DNA?
on.
I don't know this
No,
person.
but
So
I
how she
I
get my
I
DNA
I
No,
from?
but
honestly
remember, listen what happened. The mother told the child, whoever. I don't know how the DNA come into it.
But at the end
But
of the day, as a man, during that time frame, you must know a mother. You must know it during that time frame.
right.
You was going with the mother,
Yeah,
and it
but
is possible.
21 years
But
later, how she get me DNA
yeah,
test to
but
do a
but wait,
test?
Exactly.
it is up to you now if you want to accept her and go ahead and
And
officially do a DNA test to confirm that you are actually the father, than to accept her DNA test. It's
and
best for you to go ahead and officially do one to basically, to prove that you are the father, not the father. I would
and it
not
can
accept it. I would have
also
to
be
do a
a case.
DNA test.
It can also be a case where the man knew all along that he had that child
And
outside,
that may I
but he
say,
was scared
that's
to
where my
carry
question
the
was getting
child
at.
in. So it
That's
can
exactly
also
what my
be that
question
case.
was getting at. Say, he
hmm
must
Then,
know
then
her.
suppose I
Because how
find
she
he
get my
couldn't
DNA
find
test to do
her.
the test?
And probably the
Suppose
mother
I find
moving
he
the
couldn't
child,
find
all
him.
different something can happen right here. But it's a real story, guys. Real situation.
Yeah, 'cause that happened to me.
well
That happened to
whichever way
me.
whichever way she went and found out, as I said, Yoni, once she can provide certain details to say, okay, I am Miss Lisa's daughter. You dated her from this month to that month, and I was conceived in this month, and she always told me about you or whatever. As long as you are sure that you would have slept with this lady, and there's a possibility, I think it's enough to help her for 3 nights. If
Mm-hmm.
there is a
Exactly.
possibility and it logical in your mind that
Right.
that could have happened, it's okay to help her for
And
3 nights
and
until we get our
also
own DNA test.
and also the fact that the man was so ready to accept her in the house and telling the wife that listen,
Which man?
the
Which man was
husband, the
already?
husband was saying that he wants her to be in the house, was taking her in the house. It shows you that he knew something about it also. Because he
Okay,
was
so there's another part to the story. So the
yes,
husband in a eager for move her in
the
the house
husband
with the
wanted
wife.
to take her in, right.
Him know say
Okay, so there's
female
an
man.
issue
Him
there.
know.
In this situation, the wife was deceived. The husband knew
Yeah.
exactly what was cooking.
Yeah.
Him
Exactly.
know a female man.
Him know what
Oh,
him know. Him just deceive him. Just deceive him. Wife never tell the wife the truth. And if the wife walks away at that moment, I'm of the view she have all right to do that.
Well,
Exactly.
I wouldn't necessarily walk away from my
right, because
husband
that's
for
so
a
much,
child
time.
that was created before me and my
Yeah,
husband got together.
In
I
this
would
case,
not
the
go
wife
walk
was
away
the
for
wife
that.
was deceived. The wife was deceived. The wife was deceived
Deceived in what way? Meaning he
by
found out
not
before
telling
her?
not telling the wife the truth that
I
there was a child that was
yes,
involved.
from him look on the
When did
Well,
house,
he
what
find
he
out though? When did
maybe
he
him
find
find
out?
out maybe him find out a year after I meet him wife and him just say, yo, John don't start, I can't tell her this right now, And it just
yeah.
turn out to that something that last so long
Mhm.
him just say, yo, make it stay with it.
Right.
I
You
still
see me I
think that
say?
is something. I still think that is something that we can work through.
Me
Yeah.
personally, I
It
hide none of
is
my youth them still. But if I make a mistake, I ruin everybody I know. I'm gonna hide my youth.
Because he
That
would
not
have,
happen.
unless he did a DNA when the child was 1 or something, and
right.
was sure that it's his child, and him completely like not take care of the child and just move on with him life,
And you
then
don't know if he was taking care too, but probably he was just doing it from a standpoint. Like,
Yoni, this is why I said I would have to talk to the girl, because the
right,
girl are gonna give me the information that I
right,
need.
right.
And this is the reason why I wouldn't show her a bad face either.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I show her a bad face, she might
Not
become
gonna forget.
defensive and not want to open up to me. Now,
Mm-hmm.
the way I would go about it is I am going to show her that, certain things have to take place first, but it doesn't mean that you're not welcome.
Right.
No, I would like to know the struggles that you went through for
Let's
21
try a
years and not
detective
have your
here.
father.
Yeah,
Now,
she
when
has
she go
about
down
it.
into that story, I will know whether or not the father was there. I am not going to be angry at her and say, "Oh, you come ruin my life and who is you?" I'm not going to do that. I want
Yeah.
the information, so I will be the person who she feel like she have my shoulder can lean on. I will get all the information that I need.
See there. Let's try a detective.
Yeah, of
It,
course.
She know
Then
how to
all
play
of
the
the
game.
woman they would all be
it,
detective right
it
there
is
and
just
then.
like a certain former president of the United States who got the housemaid pregnant and got the housemaid pregnant and that's at that time the housemaid have to leave. He was president before he become president. He have his money and he end up he used to send money for this person become president now. So certain communication have to stop. So all of a sudden, when he was, I think, some campaigning, this grown man end up appear from nowhere, and said, he's my dad, and all that gentleman want, is a DNA test to prove that this gentleman is his dad, and he would not do it. He would not do it. The Clintons. This child look just like his dad, and all this gentleman is begging for is just a DNA test, and they would not volunteer to give that DNA test for to prove that that child is actually his.
Yes, guys. What would you do?
Me personally, I'm gonna have to discuss it with wife first. We'll come to an agreement how we're gonna deal with it. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna feel some type of way, yes, but I have to understand, say, wife is about, so we have to discuss it and know how we're gonna step forward with it. Kind of
That,
me alone, I two are so we have to discuss it and sort it out together.
that's true.
You know? Yeah.
And I don't think that warrants a breakup right now.
Well, no, so
Yanni, I
Because
just send you. I
as
just
Miss
sent
Choi said,
something.
if I
I just sent
before she
something to you. When you get a
if
chance,
I
look into
before
it.
fair time, it shouldn't affect the relationship. It's
right,
just how we go about it might affect it. But
right. I'm
I
coming for that.
mean, if it's before her time, it shouldn't affect the marriage really. We have to just deal with it as a team and you know
Bless up, Janko people. Bless up, bless
just
up.
help her out the best way we can until we
Yes,
sure say yes and we sure say somebody we can trust around the current family. Then
right.
we can slowly bring her in and say, all right, that's how we are deal with it, you know.
Good night.
Yes, good night, Mr. Keith. Good night, good night. Who is it?
Wow, what a hairstyle you have up.
Mr.
You
Keith,
know,
I'm not.
one of the one positive from that situation though.
Yeah,
She's 21. She's
yeah.
no longer a child, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it won't be a case where it's a kid where me have to go take care of. This is a grown woman.
Right,
No, the only thing I think that she probably would need is, probably somebody to talk to
right,
and a place.
right.
Maybe a job too, or if she plan to go back to
Yeah,
school or whatever she wanna do. It's not a child where it's more responsibility on my end.
right.
Maybe just financially, but she's an adult.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not much to it.
I have a question about that, All right, so she at 21, right? And you never meet her until she at 21. But I know that, that's why I'm not asking the question I ask. Can her mother come after the father for all of the years where he never take care of her? Even if he never
No,
know about her?
no,
No? Okay.
no.
It was just a question. I don't know, that's what I asked. Okay.
Good question. Very good question too. Yes, Mr. Basil, I see that one.
The law have a lot to do with
Yeah.
real. The law have a lot to do with proof, right?
And and
Um,
and
fact, right?
Right.
Now, the fact that no DNA was done at the time of birth, the father apparently did not sign the birth
That's
certificate.
true. Yeah.
This person is now over 18. There's nothing that is liable for them to collect from him for.
Mm,
Oh, okay. It's because of what you said when I asked the question. So, yeah. Okay. Well, that makes sense.
right.
That makes a lot of sense.
Right.
Well, unfortunately, that situation happened everywhere, every day, and it's not a one-off.
So how do
You hear
people
about
deal
them
with
thing there all the while.
situations like
so
that?
I have a question here to ask, and maybe some of you can give me some knowledge, right? And this is my dad. There was this there's this lady who claimed that she and my dad share a child together. But my dad passed away. This was before my dad passed away. So now, this young miss would come to the house and said, based on the information that her mom give her, we are siblings, we all share the same dad. Do you think that us as siblings can do a DNA test to prove that this
Yes.
young
Yes,
miss
you
is
can.
actually our dad
Yes.
child?
Yes,
Yes.
Yes, you
you
can.
can.
Yes.
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 Okay.
And I think it is important to do so. Um, Let me
100%.
tell you something. A lot of things come from brokenness, right? A lot of family members don't know who they're really related to. A lot of children don't know who their real dad is. All of these type of things. Now, I believe that if we ever find ourselves in any situation where there's a potential to gain a new family member, I don't think that we should shy away from it. Um, even if it is, even if we have doubts, I feel like ultimately we should test. We should do a test just to be sure, because sometimes people are treated a certain type of way because there is uncertainty there. Only your mother did say I'm a father pitney. I'm not sure if me and your sister. So now I'm rich and me I look out for my mother pitney them because I'm not sure if me and you are sister. When in truth and in fact, maybe the daughter by your father's side needed you. So I don't feel like it's something simple where we must just take, where people used to say, oh, I probably a father. Like if we can find out, find out. Find out.
True.
You're right. I agree. I agree with you. I agree.
But what if, guys, the man knew all along and hid it from his wife? How would you deal with that situation there?
Oh Lord. Oh Lord. So he knew for 21 years and didn't tell me.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna pose a problem right there. Why didn't he tell the wife? Why was he hiding it?
Because
That's what I
that's
said
how
earlier.
the
That's what I said earlier. What he did, if he know about it, he deceived the wife, and the wife have every intention to walk away.
I
But what if
mean,
the wife
if
did
you have,
don't want to leave, but she decides to have another man with him?
What?
No,
why
son, no.
should I do that? But hold on, the situation remain the same in a certain way. If
It's gonna
you
make the
born
that
before him
gonna make
meet
the
the wife,
situation
and him
worse.
know, and him not tell the wife.
Right.
I
Having
mean, it's a
another
little
man
bit of
and it gonna make
difference,
the
yes, but
situation
the
worse.
fact of the matter is
No,
these
but
things come before you meet the wife.
So what
no,
if
but
she has
if
a
So I
there
birth
think
was
should I walk
control?
no
away for that.
real, if there was no DNA test,
That's a big
sorry,
problem.
if there was no DNA test done,
Mm-hmm.
even if he was under the belief that he got that woman pregnant
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah,
no DNA test was done and him a hide and give the picnic something because of a maybe baby, right? Maybe baby. A lot
yeah,
of men have those. And him did a
true.
hide and give the picnic whatever the case may be. And he's now sure that is his child, and him decide to tell me then. There's still a logical reason. Maybe baby had the potential to interject in our life, and I wasn't sure, and we just never man enough, right? Forgot do the DNA test
Hey,
because
this
of
shit
whatever
reason
reason.
difference to the know.
Not just say me
Yeah,
like
it's a
Terry
reasoning.
No,
woman.
it's
Hold on.
reality.
Yeah,
Hold
man,
on.
that's true, man.
Me like Terry
Miss
woman.
Chin.
I
Miss
rate
Chin, I
the
have a
reasoning,
Yes.
case
Miss
here.
Chin.
Me
For
I
I have
real.
a
tell
case.
you.
I have a case here. I need the panel help, right? All right.
Lord God.
This is a case. This is a case where, you know, the union married and the union produced 4 lovely kids. You know, dad live in another country and dad would travel back and forth, you know, but during that time frame, dad have a friend because of work, come from another parish to come into the area to work, and that friend would go back when that work season is up, back and forth. So now dad is in another country, and it happened while dad is in another country. This man happened to sleep with his friend wife. Now, you know, one of the kids, one of the 4 kids happened to be this man kid. But you know, the in-laws, the mother and the father, they noticed that, you know, all 3 kids have eye color, but this one is dark skinned. And when they approach mother, the mother shut it down and all of that stuff. You know, cut a long story short, you know, that was said. So years after, this man is in his 30s. This man is in his 30s, met into an accident and sadly passed away. Now that this man passed away, you know, family gathering where people go have dead yard and them something there. And all of a sudden, there is this, because, you know, this gentleman is popular. And all of a sudden, there's this gentleman appear from nowhere, come from foreign and come down and you know, appear for everything, appear for the whole funeral expense. I admit that. You know that this is my son. You know, the mom know, you know, mom alive, and, you know, mom shut it down, and then at that moment, mama go admit that, yes, I'm son the true. But me just never want that. By now, this man who the biological father who claimed that he was the dad passed away. Years passed away. So believe that he leave 4 kids behind. And you know, all of us believe that we are all the same dad. You know, in that situation, what would you do in that situation?
What is
What
there
would
to
you
do?
do?
The person that was betrayed died. Now the onus is now upon the mother to explain to the child that
No,
um what,
this child was the child that passed away, you know. The one that is the jacket. The jacket passed away. But the other 3 kids,
I thought it was the husband who passed
Yeah,
away.
no man,
that's
the
what I think
husband
too.
first. The husband first passed away. Then the son followed years after, 36 years old when he died. The jacket son passed away. So
Okay. All right.
the
So
Still,
there's been
there's nothing to
some,
do. Really.
yeah, so there's been some deceit on the
Yeah.
lady's side, the wife in question, right? However, the 2 persons that you spoke about, who I think would have deserved some sort of conversation, some sort of I am sorry, pass. No,
Mm-hmm.
what is she supposed to do? Who is she going to do it with now? Because the son, who was the jacket, pass, and her husband that she cheated on, pass. Now, if it's a close family where the in-laws are around, she can set herself straight, set her
You don't think
conscience free by
you don't
saying,
think
you know,
the mother who owe the kids an apology? Those who believe that all of us share the same dad. You don't think that she owe the kids that apology?
owe them an apology. I think she owed her husband an apology, and she
Yeah.
owed the jacket son an apology. However, the other children need explanation, not an apology. Explanation, because she didn't do anything to hurt them. She didn't do anything to hurt them. We're talking about blood now. So she owe her husband an apology, and she owed the child. I don't know if she was growing the child under the influence that the man was his father, or if she told him that was his dad. those are the two persons who she would have owe apology. She owe explanation to the other children.
You're right. I answered the question right. Answer the question.
Mm-hmm. Apology,
But Mr.
explanation.
Basil, when you tell story, if me not careful, me confuse.
Yeah, you know, it, my family is very, and this happened in my family, you know, it's kind of complicated, you know. I have two uncle, one on dad's side, one on my mom's side, and both of them get kids with the same. It's a lot of mix up. You know, my family is very confusing, you know, a lot of, you know, some stuff I don't even know how to explain it, you know. But a lot of times I come on here and I tell, you know, stories that, you know, personal experience and stuff that, you know, happen in my family.
So true.
Yeah. Yanni, what is the other question? Have we
All right.
exhausted this one?
Yeah, so far, so let's continue. All right. If your spouse never knew this child existed, would you believe him, or would you believe him? Thank you.
Yeah, I would believe my husband.
All right.
My husband and I have been married for 20 years. I never had an inkling that this man was betraying me or being deceitful. And if this man tell me, unless somebody can come show me proof where this man was present, you know, doing this and doing that, or showing me transfers of monies or whatever the case may be, I have to have actual proof to not believe my husband.
True.
Mm-hmm.
But what if they know and never tell you? Would you consider that to be a deal breaker?
If he knew that the child was his,
Right.
all right, I would feel some type of way about it, but I don't think it is enough for me to divorce my husband. It is something that we probably have to talk about in depth, and I would have to express how I feel, and I would like to understand the reason he kept it from me. What would be the reason you'd keep something like this from me? Because if this man is a good father to our 4 children, it would leave me to believe that there was an issue as to why he wasn't such a father to that one. If you understand what I'm saying. Do you feel like if you had told me I wouldn't get married to you? Do you feel like, you know, was it my standards that led to you not telling? It would have been a whole conversation. I can't speak for every situation, but it would be a whole conversation considering who me know the man for be and what would be the logical reason as to why he would keep it from me.
Okay. That's true.
One of the reasons might be he wants to keep it is because he did not want to break up the relationship with you. That is one of the reasons I think he would not want to tell you because he know it would break you.
Look at miss, but if the child was before me, that doesn't make any sense. Unless I said to
Okay.
him, if you are a father already, I will not get married to you. No, if I
Yeah,
said
but
this to him, if I said to him, if you have children, I do not want a marriage with you, and you lie about the fact that you had a child solely to get married to me, that's an issue. Because our entire marriage was deceitful.
That's
Because you
true.
know you have a
exactly.
pitney, and the only reason you never tell me was because I said I wouldn't get married to you. No, you deceived me into a marriage. That would have been a
Exactly.
different story.
So
But
you
So
don't
but
walk for that,
but,
Miss Chen?
but
Miss Choi, sorry.
it would have taken years of counseling, I'm not gonna lie. I still would have probably forgive him because 20 years is a long time to spend with anybody, and if me not have no other issue,
It's hard for
you
you
know,
to
it would have hurt me to my core, but I still think I'll try to work it out. And unfortunately for me, maybe unfortunately for him.
So
But
what
let's not
about
go
the
into
case,
that.
Miss Choi, right? If
in
would
my
you not be thinking that after such a deception, who else is gonna show up at your door?
exactly.
All
Is
right.
there any more
I think I
secrets?
think I
Right.
think Miss Choi would
I
exhaust
don't think
every
like that.
option before she actually
I don't
decide to
think
walk.
like that,
That's what I'm
Yanni.
saying. Based on our reasoning,
Okay.
she would
I
exhaust
don't
every option before she walk.
yeah, I don't think like that. I don't think that you never told me something 20 years ago means that you've been cheating the entire 20 years we did married. What proof I have of that? Again, people can say what they want to say, but I will only deal with you based off of what you show me. Now, if I have had a wonderful marriage with a man for 20 years and I had no other issue with this man other than the fact that he did not tell me that there was a child that happened before our relationship, I could have worked on that. I could have worked on that. It wasn't a cheating situation. It was a child that came before us.
True. So we're gonna look at the daughter now, because we were looking at the wife just now. Trust question just now. So we're gonna look at the daughter. Should she suffer because of the decision that was made before she was born?
No. I'm so sorry. Maybe other people want to answer,
Right,
guys.
I'm saying I was just about to say that everybody, so everyone
Yeah,
No,
because
understands.
I'm
sir.
the
She
only
shouldn't
one
suffer.
talking.
She
Right,
should
not
not suffer for that.
choice. Right.
Nah,
Is
the,
homelessness
the,
enough reason to open door immediately?
you can
Nope.
open a door, but
No,
it doesn't
no,
necessarily
no,
have to be
no,
the door
no,
to your
no,
Nope.
no,
house.
no.
No, listen what I said before. You
No.
said no. You can open a door, meaning, as Miss Charlie said earlier, put her in a hotel or somewhere until you figure
I
it out.
don't
But
think that's the door
you
they're talking about, though, real. They're
No.
talking about your door.
The house, the
no, my door
home.
not. No. As I said, I have to talk to my wife about that. I'm 100% sure she's not going to say yes. So, well, but all our women, them in the panel say the same thing. You can't
Right.
just move her in immediately. You know what I mean? You
No.
have to kind of do your research and make sure so where she has 100 first. That's my question was how she get me DNA and I didn't know her. So all of that I have to figure out first. Then when if you realize say, oh, am I a youth? Then we still not necessarily means that she go moving. She at 21, but we can help her same way. You know what I mean? And figure
Exactly.
out something.
I don't think there any negative emotion should go towards that child.
None
That child did
whatsoever.
not ask to be here. That child probably suffer how much years without the father doing it. I would feel a little bit guilty, especially if it's a case where my children been
But
living great,
what
right? I
about
would
they
feel a
come?
little bit guilty that she
No,
didn't come sooner so we
But
could
yeah.
share whatever we have. She did have to grow up without her father. Mother
Knowing
feel some type of
myself
way
is
as his
probably the
wife.
break me still. Knowing how me stay with my kid, it would have break me for real, man. So know some
I
have a
feel
youth out there
away.
struggle.
Yeah.
And yeah,
so what about if they come with disrespect with it, knowing that to themselves they're saying that the father abandoned them, and so
Someone who
forth.
don't have anywhere to go, not gonna show the disrespect until probably, they get acquainted.
Cause some of them want to redeem, they want to ask for things, Cause you're my dad and you weren't there for me for 20 odd years, so they want this and they want that.
well,
But
once
that
of the
that that
things,
is I think anybody who would have grown without them father would have think like that. It is up to us as the adults in the situation. Well, she's an adult, but a young adult at that. It is up to us to make her understand that this wouldn't have been so had we known. No, we need to think about what was the reason as to why it never came to the forefront, especially if my husband just a find out. Now, I do think that there is some energy that must be placed in this child, whether she are 22, 35, whatever. Because I honestly believe that girls need to feel love from their father. No, the
True.
fact that she went her entire life without daddy being there, him have to do something, even though she a big woman now and might feel like, oh, this is stupid now. I would still encourage my husband to spend time with her. Do whatever it is that she requires so she can feel like she was needed. Had we known, she would have been treated differently. I think sometimes the bitterness, we must understand where it is coming from. And
Yes.
being bitter towards bitterness is not going to fix it.
Exactly.
I
If
feel like
she,
a lot of people act out of the fact that they don't feel loved or them never get whatever them they desire from their parents, whether it be mother or father. So that wouldn't it would my first thing wouldn't be, oh, I hope she's not disrespectful. My first thing would be, oh,
to
see what
help
you
her,
can
yeah.
do. It's a whole heap of years that have to make up, but see what you can do. No, if she's somebody who just completely disrupt everything, him have to deal with her outside of our home,
Yeah.
right? Meaning to say, I will have no lot and part with her because I am not going to be the one who is going to go to her anyway. As a matter of fact, me I go show her bare love. Now, if it in turn she's being disrespectful to me or she bit against me or she can't come to terms that the reason certain things happen is because I was unaware, would I just distance myself and her father have to deal with that. But
Right,
it's not like I would have tell him say, oh, don't do this or don't do that. He would have to know how to get around to her,
right, Judy.
understanding why he wasn't there.
Right.
Would you allow a complete stranger to live with your teenage children?
No. Mm-mm.
Would you sleep peacefully after that night, after meeting up or she entered your room? Would you sleep peacefully?
Nope. Nope.
Because that would create you're gonna be questioning yourself and also your husband, so it's gonna be like so much question for that night. Confusion. Mm-mm.
First of all, I will not be in that position. She will not be sleeping under the same roof as me. If it is that the daddy, my husband, decide to go against what I'm saying and wants her in the house, my children and I will be going to a hotel. And then we're going to have some issue in our marriage because I just don't understand how you couldn't understand why I would rather put her in a hotel. Yeah.
But in that situation, guys, how do you think both parties feel? The mother, not the husband, the wife, and the child. What would be some things going through their mind? The whole situation. Nobody knows. Little Miss, remember you said something similar happened. So what would be your the first thing that comes to mind? What happened to you? You hear me, Little Miss?
Yanni, you're saying?
No, I'm saying in that situation, for the mother, that's the wife, I mean, the daughter that walks through the door, the husband, how, if you put yourself in that situation with all of them, how would you feel as the daughter, the wife, and also the husband? What would be going through your mind?
If the incident that I was telling you about,
Mm-hmm.
the incident I was telling you about, the little girl that came for lunch money, and it was indeed my husband, my ex-husband, the child.
Mm-hmm. Yes, thank you, Troy. Go ahead. I'm hearing you.
Now go feel good, Yanni.
Mm-hmm.
Questions go run through my head.
Mm-hmm.
Cause back then it was running through my head. When did this happen? Then where I was, how comes he did not tell me anything? You know, I would feel betrayed because it happened when we were together. That incident happened when we were together. So I feel betrayed. I feel as if, you know, well, he cheated. You know, I feel used because, you know, I'm a woman and living with a husband for 20 odd years, have one little girl, and he never tell me about it. He never come to me and say, hey, you know, say, you know, so and so. And it was when we were together.
Right. Yes, try again.
What was the reason? Why? What was the reason? What was the problem led you to do that? To go and outside to have a child? So it did not settle with me. And until now, it did not settle with me because up until now, we are divorced and I still did not get a proper answer.
You
So
know,
to me, it clearly showed me that he did not care.
I
You
don't find that
understand?
here.
And
I'm
right, he
just,
did not care, and he was being a man enough,
him step
responsible
out,
person.
him just step out, it happen, and him don't know how to tell you.
Right.
You know, me personally, I speak for myself. If I step out and a youth come in a picture, whoever I'm with, them are gonna know. Whatever happen after that, I don't know. But I think when you have kids, you're supposed to hide them.
True.
You know,
But the thing I don't understand with some men, things do happen, you know. We know that things do happen because we are not perfect. You understand me? But when it does happen, come and explain. Don't let us find out like in any of these cases. You understand me? We are big people. Come, you sit down. We are husband and wife. You know, Marcia. You know that I would like to talk to you. You know, such and such. You know, something happened, and I am so sorry. I'm regretting it, but it happened, and whatever. You know how you can talk your talk, so that the other side can understand what really happened. That means when she encountered with it, you know, she already know and can, you understand me, know how to deal with the problem. But up until this blessed day, the man is denying it.
Right.
And that is what I cannot understand. Why are you denying something that is yours? You go outside and get it. You understand me?
But
And
when,
then
sorry.
when it actually come, you are denying it, said it is not yours, right? But yet the child have features of you, right? And you only can own that yes, you and the mother had something. So why you owning up that you and the mother have something going on, but yet you deny the child? I don't understand.
But
So
I have a question. What do you think is the reason why sometimes men, you know, go on the outside and cheat? Is there a reason? Is there something lacking in the home why they tend to, you know, go on out there and cheat or find different partners to be with?
all heap of reason for that.
Really?
Most of them no good still, but a whole heap of reason. There's
in
no
my
good
case,
reason for cheat. Let me say that first before
in my
anything.
case, that man didn't have no reason to do what he did.
Why would you say that, little miss? Why? How do you know if he has no reason?
Because if we had a disagreement and I part for some time to my mom's, right? what kind of problem no? What kind of decision he take up to go outside? He's not of that shows me that he's not a faithful man. He cannot hold his own. And
But
then he
remember,
went out and you know, impregnate, and then you understand me, things happen.
right.
And then when it done now, you're disowning it.
But remember, they are saying that they have this thing. Thank you. Oh, me I left from my sister. But tell you, but remember, they always say that the men they cheat for various reasons, and it's like something is lacking in the home. Sometimes why they cheat, they are not getting attention. Some of them they are telling you, oh, women are not doing what they used to do, and so on. Do you think that warrants a person to go on the outside and cheat and to
It
have a whole
doesn't,
relationship?
no, it doesn't give them any. You go for counseling. You sit down. If you don't want to go for counseling, you sit down with your wife and, you know, try to talk with her, find out what is the problem. You understand me?
Right.
You don't do that. There's solution for everything. If a man wants to go out there and cheat, and he will go out there and cheat. All when nothing not happening at the home and
Yeah.
everything is okay, they still do that thing.
Right. What do you have to say, Troy? Troy, you hear me? Oh, she's okay, darling. Do you have anything to say, Mark 3? Hmm?
I said no good reason that they for cheat. There's no good reason.
Right.
Man cheat for a reason, but none of them no good. I said, you can't get, there's no way you can come up with a good reason
Thank
why
you.
you cheat. There's no good reason for that. It happens a lot, but there's no good
Things
reason,
right. Things
you know.
things happen, you know. Things happen because remember that there is no perfect relationship. I believe, right, that if something is going bad in the marriage, or you know, in your spouse's, in your relationship with your spouse, call her, or you know, she call. If it is a problem with you, call her. You guys sit down and have
Yes,
a
Roxy.
discussion about it.
Oh,
You
nobody
understand
listening.
me?
We are them money.
Instead of picking yourself and saying, hey, I'm going to do this, and that you know will hurt the person or hurt your relationship. You understand me? There are better ways to go about things. I think that a person that cheats, you know, it is in his mind already. It is something that, you know, he cannot do without.
And I don't think it has to do with women not pleasing them why they
Right.
cheat. I think it has to do with something that they can't control within them.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Because I'm telling you, I can honestly tell you, I don't
Woman make up
see
like
the
them
reason
body.
why. I don't see the reason why that man didn't even have to go out of the box to do that. But guess what? No, I think it's in his nature. Yeah.
You said it's in its nature.
Yes.
Interesting point of view. So are you then saying that it's innate for a man to cheat? It's innate that they'll always want more than one vagina.
Some of them, yes. Some of them. Some of them. Because even when you are doing so good with them and everything is right with you, you understand me, with them, they still go ahead. You know, you're looking fine. You have everything good. Everything is just good with you. But yet they still go outside and do that. And at the end of the day, they know that if you find out, it will hurt the relationship. And then when you find out what they're telling you, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. It just happened. Or I was drunk.
I want to say something to you though.
Mm-hmm.
A person who lacks self-control cannot lead me, right?
Discipline.
Mm-hmm.
If at any point you lack self-control, you can't lead me.